Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our monthly angel reading for the month of September 2021. So, just before I begin, I'd like to welcome anyone who's new to my channel and also um, inviting everyone who is watching this for the very first time. This is the first monthly angel reading that I'm doing. It just became a bit much to try to do the zodiac readings with the um, monthly information included. So I'm hoping that this will sort of help to just make those videos a little bit shorter, and then get all the information in here and have the time, and have this come out to be moderately a moderate length. But we know how things kind of happen here with information with me, but I will do my best. So I've already just begun with a brief meditation, and before I get into that, I'll just go over the format and just also make an announcement, which I'll start with first, about my special offer for my half-hour reading of $77. That special offer, since the pandemic, will still continue into the month of September. It will be a hour-long reading instead of the half hour, so that's the special offer. And what you do is go to my website, theangelschool.com/services, and you would be able to schedule an angel reading with me. There's a link in the description below that you can click on to take you directly there. You will see that it hasn't been changed in terms of a special offer. You just select the half-hour reading, and within 24 hours on the first business day, I will send you a confirmation email noting that special offer, and it will come with instructions about how to set up an appointment. So all you have to do is just follow it, and everything will run pretty smoothly from there. All right. So the format I'm going to do similar to the monthly angel scope. The card on the left will be from the Major Arcana. This is going to just give us a sense of the major lesson, the bigger themes, and that we're working with in this month. Okay, so the major lessons, the themes, and overall energies and influences that we're working with in this month. And then the card on the right will be a card from the Minor Arcana, giving us insights and how this is playing out for us in the day-to-day. And also it will act as a card of advice or divine prescription about how to work with the energies this month. So I have some notes today because when I started meditating, it just started to accumulate. It's a similar format I use for my angel readings with clients. I meditate and I try to draw. I'm like kindergarten in my drawings. But these symbols are like hieroglyphs to me, and or like looking at any art in a tarot oracle card. And there's where I get the meaning and understanding of the energy from your angels. So this is a collaboration of all of our higher selves that I've already called in and your ascension teams to work with. So I'm just going to go as I'm guided with the information. The very first thing that is coming to my mouth, not to my mind, I'll tell you what that was from those notes, but they're reminding me of this month. So this month, I think I wrote about this in one of the daily card messages. This is the month of September. So relating it to the tarot cards, the Hermit card would be sort of a card to associate with the tarot card for the month. Okay. And so with the Hermit card, there is this sense of, really going within, really, enlightenment, inner wisdom, and, really taking time to be aware of what's going on with you. I feel like, and then there's the energy of the year, which 2021 in numerology breaks down to 5. So this would be the Hierophant, and here you have, you know, beliefs and lessons, that you're dealing with, and 5 challenges. And with 9 numerology is this attainment, um, of goals or nearing completion. So I feel like with these 2 cards, this month and year card, that you're at this place of, you know transition. And this is something I feel strongly about this month. We're in a place where, you know real change is starting to come into our lives, new opportunities, except that we are struggling with who we knew ourselves to be and our old beliefs, and trying to open up and embrace the new opportunities and those new pathways. So it's almost as if there are new, I can hear it in my head, but I can't get it out of my mouth. Neural pathways that are being, I think that's it, that are being sort of forged. And so it feels like on an energetic level, you really want to think about the neural information, the way that it's sort of this feeling of, with the old paradigm, we've been just having these signals that have just been going off for a long time, and these signals have sort of, I want to say, control the way our the way we view things, our they influence our tendencies to do certain things a certain way, and that is undergoing a profound change. So with that, logic and viewpoint and beliefs are shifting, and things are falling away, and that can be a very vulnerable state to be in, because you feel yourself sort of on the precipice of change, and at the same time you're not used to those new options, and so we sometimes will tend to sabotage ourselves or fall into sort of limiting ideas and beliefs, because it's sort of a safety net, comfort zone, for us. And I know it sounds weird, but boy, our brain is intelligent, but it can be complex when we have these emotional attachments to things, and we just don't allow ourselves to go with those new impulses. So we resist them, and when we resist those new impulses that are coming forth, not as an intrusion, but out of all that you have experienced and become, and all that you've done, those neural pathways are being forged in new ways, and their improvements are being made. It's just like, every so often, you have to update your wiring in your home. You're like, you get it inspected, then you make improvements. So it's a sort of similar idea here. Now, they showed me the angel. So the first thing I saw was the angel number 528. And the message says, trust that your new ideas will be financially successful, because they will. So when a message comes across like this, that means that you have these ideas, but you're really guarded about it. You're ambivalent about the messages that you're receiving. And they're writing yes, 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 yes all over the place. They're just writing the words as I said that. You're ambivalent about these ideas. You're struggling with trusting yourself, not alone trusting the universe. Remember, so when you hear that, when the universe says you trust your idea, you're struggling with trusting yourself. And it's easier to talk. It's easy to talk yourself out of these ideas, and you've probably done it many times before. But in this instance, and I'm thinking of the nine, and since we're talking about the month, I'm thinking of the Nine of Wands, about not giving up. In the Nine of Wands, you see the person with all those wands behind them, and they look like they've been bruised a bit, have a wounded, their head's been wounded, and have a bandage around it. And it means that they've gone through a lot. They've put a lot of effort in. They've tried, and may not have been as successful as they want it to be. But they're standing there holding ground. And sometimes that's all you can do. If that's what you can do, if that is where you're at, then that's where you're at. But the whole thing is that you're still standing your ground. You still have the determination, even though you still have hope, even though you've experienced a lot of rejection, possibly. And there is a reward in this, in sticking with this and finding a way to get back up and get out there again and try again. And it's the encouragement to trust the ideas that are coming to you. And you may say to yourself, yeah, but I've had so many, and I've been through this before. But they're asking you to really have faith and to trust that one more time, okay? But this time, you've got to give something that you were not giving before. They're writing the word investment. You've been putting in a lot of hard work, but you were saving something. You weren't putting that in. You were holding it sort of as a safety chip, like if everything falls, I'll have this. But that was more valuable than all the other things that you put in before. If you put that one in, then you wouldn't have needed to risk all the others. And to you, this piece is worth more than all the others combined. But this piece would have gotten you what you needed, and you would have still had the equation and all those others to that. So this time they want you to put that part of yourself in. They want you to invest that part that you've been keeping safe, protecting. And I'm hearing sort of phrases, but it's like, it's this thing where the thing that we prize the most, we think is our golden piece. I don't know what the phrase is. I just got to get it out. But that's a part. If you put that out there first, if you're always putting that out, that is priceless. It is something that will never lose value. Therefore it will never fail you. The things that you don't prize with much value, those, it's like they may or may not resonate out there. And yet you're putting them out, not having as much confidence in them, and then you were expecting results. If that makes any sense. Okay? So they were showing me, and this just all may be summed by what was written and shown to me, but I'll just go over it quickly. And my gosh, we have to get into this. But they were showing me like sort of a house under construction. It was just like the wood frame, and then the angel number 5 5, and this angel number message means this is a period of out with the old and in with the new. Welcome these changes as they bring about new blessings. Okay, and it feels like you're in a process of constructing something. I saw a version of the Ace of Cups, and it was a coffee cup, and it was like a waterfall pouring out of the side, um and this gives me a sense of that you're going to be starting. You have this opportunity to create a whole new relationship with life itself, and it's like the universe is handing you this cup of opportunity, but you are still looking at the past. You're still using the past as a reference, and they're handing you something completely new. So when I see the Ace of Cups or any ace, this is something completely new. It's a new opportunity for you, and you're holding yourself back. They showed me an old horse and buggy, but just the buggy. And, usually I see it moving, but it looked like it was sort of like, grounded to the earth, like as if the earth and the buggy flowed together, like it's just been sitting there now as some kind of ornamental piece on someone's property. And it gave me a sense of travel or wanted movement or wanted to go somewhere, but you're feeling grounded. um, and it's as if I wrote your ideas or designs that you have in mind is what it represents, or or that you have your mind set upon. But it's like you want to. But I wrote it's like a symbol of movement or action you want to take, but unable or ready to mobilize yourself, and you're having trouble finding a way to put something out there that's really valuable, that piece that you're not investing, and you're holding back, and you're treasuring it like a ornament, but you're not using it. So it's almost like you got this vehicle, although it may not seem like it's there, something that you can use, but you should be using it. Okay, um, and yeah, so it's going to be really important for you to trust the ideas that are flowing to you right now, to go with that flow. And the ideas I saw, this when I see helmets, that means that the person is guarding their thoughts and their mind, and they're really being closed off. But there was a waterfall leaking out of the helmet, like out of the cup. And so you're in this channel of ideas right now, and you just have to go with the flow and trust the outcome. And that forward momentum means you need to be forward in your thinking, and keep your thoughts positive, and do not restrict or obstruct your the plans that come out of this flow. All right, so we have here the card Justice, and it's the Archangel Raguel. So I feel like you're gonna have to really focus on discerning and making the right calls. You have to weigh the scales in terms of what resonates with your heart. What is resonating with your heart? And if you might be making things too complicated. Usually there's a feather weighed against the heart, and here we just have this light here. And the thing is that if it's gotten too complicated, too heavy, you've taken on too much responsibility, too much burden of responsibility, meaning in terms of expectations of yourself, then you need to clear those. You need to let them go. Just clear those those burdens. And since Archangel Raguel his name means the friends of God, a friendship of God, you might be really, factoring in. I keep saying the word respect or respectful. So I don't know if there's something with the fact that you feel, that people don't respect you, or you feel inferior, or that you have some, or you're uncomfortable around, new people, or you're just worried about being as successful as everyone else appears to be. What is some thinking like this that you're allowing to block you from taking this step forward? And they're writing messaging as if to say this is coming from somewhere, and you've been running that message over and over and over again, and you need to let that go. And it's only coming up, and you're using it. I don't want to be discompassionate, but you're using it as an excuse. You think you're it's like you're using it in one way. You're validating, oh, this happened to me, this always happens to me. But the thing is that by affirming it, because that's what you're doing, you keep creating realities where you have to see everyone around you in that way, and then it puts you in a position of feeling about yourself in a particular way. So it's an excuse because it's fear, and you're afraid of the opportunities that are in front of you. And it's easy to have an excuse or reason to not take a step forward. Okay? So this is about you healing a relationship with yourself. And like I said, they would show me the Ace of Cups, which means that you're going to have a whole new relationship with the world. And so this Hermit month card and the Hierophant year card is showing you that this is going to be a profound time of awakening. You're going to have some really big aha moments around certain beliefs you have, limiting beliefs you have about yourself. And that stuff is being worked out. And the opportunities that are coming up for you are giving you that chance to do that. It's like the obstacle course, creating the lesson, creating the obstacle course that will provoke you to heal. And sometimes the ideas that we have, even if something does not unfold as a result of it, it's the lesson that's important. So you don't get upset about, oh, my angels were telling me to do this, and then nothing happened. But if you healed, if you learned, if you grew in some way, that was the purpose of it. And now you'll be ready for what they really know you deserve. And that situation, if you are using that excuse, you are disrespecting yourself every time you do that. You're disrespecting your higher self. And they're writing that word again, respect. And that might be the lesson that unfolds for you, and the events that help you to start respecting yourself by no longer repeating limiting excuses to constrict you from receiving what you deserve. All right, and so we have here the Five of Swords, the Five of Air. So here we have a card that's sort of revealing, and it's interesting because usually this card is associated with the sign of Libra, so we have this air. And so this is sort of going along with what I was just saying with this whole respect piece. And we be aware of focusing too much on people who you think are always taking advantage of you. Even if they are, you can't let that be the center of everything that your life experiences are now going to revolve around. Because even though it's unfair, this is about Justice, meaning being fair to yourself first. Put yourself first. When you give this kind of energy attention, then you suffer. You're held back because you're telling the universe, this is what I believe. By affirming someone else's wrongdoing in this way, in the way that this energy is playing out, that this, they're being manipulative and bullying, then you're giving them power. You're giving this belief power, and this all sabotages you, not so much them. And that's why they are able to appear to be what you've assigned to them, because you've given them that power by acknowledging that power as the thing preventing you. And so therefore, if you were to not do that and have compassion, or just say to yourself, there's a story, it's sort of like, I can hear sort of my grandmother, somebody, it's sort of, wow, that person must have a story there, that they need to live their life that way. But when you, in doing that, you're acknowledging, well, hey, the person did that, but I know I have more respect for myself than to continue to focus on that. You make a note of that. You figure out how to do better than what that person has done, and to do better for yourself as a result. And then you won't feel like people like that are always winning and you are always at the disadvantage. So the idea is that don't give power to the things that you really do not want to have influence in your life and over you. Respect yourself enough to recognize, to no longer perpetuate this kind of energy in your life. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings. This is going to seem like a little bit of a tough lesson this month, but I think when you get the hang of it and you pay attention to every time that you have this feeling and that somebody's disrespecting you, it makes you feel, because they just wrote the word failure, it makes you feel like a failure when somebody else uses their power to make themselves feel like a winner. When they use their power in a negative way to make themselves feel like a winner, that is the reason behind it, because they feel that way. So you just have to understand there's a story there. It has nothing to do with you. It's not your story. All right. Have a beautiful month of September, and God bless you.